ShieldMore, baby. We in the building. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. ShieldMore live the day before week 2, man. I got my brothers in the building. Wasted, what's good, man? I already see you shaking your head, man. What's up?
Yes, sir, man. Listen, it is the most splendiferous occasion, and I would like to say that this stream has been brought to you and powered by BetUS. I want you guys to go over there, check out BetUS. 150% of your first deposit, and on your next 2 deposits, 125% for the next 2. And make sure you use code YouTube150, and this stream, just like all other streams, are powered by BetUS, man. Go on there, you sick puppies, and go and bet with your little hearts away.
Deliverable. There you go. I love it, man. Salute the wasted talent. Salute the Hammer, man, over there looking clean, bro. I see you got all cleaned. I can't get right before. I gotta wait until I get to New York. Like
yeah, facts. I'm gonna take. I gotta tell you, get swizzled, freshly swizzled. You know what I'm saying? Hammer's out here looking like Don Bamenge. Estale. Look at that,
yo. Hammer, how you feeling, bro? I know you over there watching your Texas Longhorns doing their Dougie right now. Manning's looking real good. Quinn Ewers out with an injury undisclosed. I don't know if they.
No, they did. They did strained abdomen. Look, he's had these minor injuries over the course of his career at Texas. I get it. But next man up, and Arch Manning just threw a 50-yard bomb to Isaiah Bond, 35-0 Texas. So let's get it.
Is this getting very Major Applewhite-ish? Chris Sims, Major Applewhite. You remember that, Hammer?
Yeah.
Is it getting that way at Texas? Are they gonna just because Quinn Ewers is a guy that's probably gonna be a top 5 pick the way he's been playing. Right?
Top 10.
Right now, they have him as a front runner for the Heisman as of right now. So, look, a lot of people are questioning Manning going into the portal. He ain't going nowhere. Let Ewers finish this year. It'll be Manning's team the next couple of years.
That man ran for like a 60, 70-yard touchdown, bro. Like
he bumped the shit out of that linebacker.
It was nasty. And I gotta say this. You guys say a prayer real quick with me. Everybody, if you guys can in the chat, man, please put your hands together real fast. Let's say a prayer for our brother Stu Schweigert, okay? Stu, we love you. We hope that you're breathing. We hope that you're okay. We hope and pray that you're not in that basement drinking your life away. We understand. Fighting Irish, absolutely deep fried. You're 66-7. It was nasty work, and we just hope and pray strength for you and your family. Amen.
Yo, listen, you know what happened to Stu? Notre Dame walked in and laid it the smack of down like you wouldn't believe on Purdue. They just destroyed Purdue. I know Stu is going through it right now. Shout out to Stu Schweigert, our brother in arms. He is probably in a fetal position in his den right now. It is terrible.
And he's not responding to my text. He's not doing any of that, and I understand it. So we had a bet too. So we're going to see how this plays out. But salute to our brother Stu. And I want to say this. Me and Wasted can't enjoy this win. We lost in Northern Illinois last week. It's nasty. This is the Notre Dame way, right? Get us all hyped up, lose, then get us hyped back up again. It's just an annual tradition from our Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But I want to say this real quick, you guys. I know that we're only in week 2. I'm not jumping the gun here. I've been tweeting away, having some fun with this upcoming draft. But I'm going to be real, y'all. I am sold on Miami's Cam Ward. I know these past few weeks, He hasn't really played that much talent. They got Ball State today. Who was 1-0? This kid, man, right now in the fourth quarter, 346 yards, 5 touchdowns, man. 6'2". This kid is one of them ones that I am definitely pinpointing next season during, when we do our drafts. I'm telling y'all now, this is going to be a guy that I'm probably going to every mock draft. Cam Ward. I'm not sold on Carson Beck. I know a lot of people are. I'm watching this game with Kentucky right now. I think Kentucky's up 3-0. I'm not a big fan of Carson Beck.
I told you, bro. You can't trust these like, listen, it was different when Matthew Stafford was at Georgia. Georgia was not the powerhouse that they are now, right? Yeah. This is back in the Mark Richt days, I think. Right now, when you have a quarterback like Carson Beck, man, that team is so loaded. You don't know whether he's that good or the team is that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with Cameron Ward, man, he has the full package as far as arm talent, as far as throwing angles, just accuracy, touch, everything. He has it, right? The only thing with Cameron Ward is the offense that he's playing in.
Definitely.
The offense that he's playing in is a little archaic. I don't know how he processes. Shedeur Sanders, there's some character issues with me that are a little glaring for me.
And they're going up against Colorado State, and he's looking pretty good in the passing game right now. Salute to them. I think they're up 7-3. I haven't seen the updates, but it looks like they're up on Colorado State right now.
Yeah, Shedeur. The only thing with Shedeur, man, I don't like some of the things that comes out when they lose.
Yeah,
it's the line. Like, yo, bro. Like, that's not the kind of stuff that you say when you're in the National Football League. Thank you, sweetheart.
I like the kid Monroe from Alabama as well. I'm not really big on a lot of Alabama.
He's not a real quarterback though, dog.
Man, the kid is. Hey, man, he's an athlete. You know what I'm saying? But we're here to talk Raider football, you guys. Week 2 Eve. We got the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow. Me and Hammer will be covering the watch party live stream tomorrow. You guys, if you guys have nothing else to do and you want some family around to watch the game with, make sure you pull up on my channel or Hammer's channel. It does not matter. We don't care. ShieldMore. We do not let egos and all the other. We are family here. So watch wherever you want, but make sure you guys pull up. And tomorrow we will be doing our first locker live, the first quarter. So make sure whoever joined the fantasy league, you're going to get an idea of what we do with this moving forward. We're doing 10 weeks of it this season. So make sure you guys pull up and have some fun with us. And our brother Wasted Talent will be doing a preview show in the morning like he always does, fantasy football and all that good stuff. So make sure that you tap in with our brother Wasted Talent over there.
Pulling up after the game too, because it always happens after the game, more so than anything.
There you go. And real quick, you guys, for those who didn't see yesterday, the final injury report, it's out. Ravens, Adisa Isaac, their outside linebacker, is doubtful. It looks like he will not be playing. Roquan Smith did pop up with a shoulder injury. He was full yesterday. He will play tomorrow. So they have their superstar linebacker. Kyle Van Noy is questionable. We got an eye injury. It was weird the way it happened against the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been dealing with it all week. He did not practice up until Friday. He was limited yesterday. Questionable for tomorrow. It looks like he will play. Nate Wiggins, their first round draft pick out of Clemson, is dealing with a neck/concussion. Salute to him and prayers to him. He was in a car accident. So I'm hoping and praying, man, that he's okay moving forward, but he will be out tomorrow. So that is definitely a big blow to that defense. The Raiders tomorrow, Brock Bowers was dealing with a foot injury. He has been all offseason. He is full. He is good to go. Divine Diablo, full, good to go with that shoulder injury. Tommy Eichenberg will be making his NFL debut tomorrow.
In special teams, though.
Yes. Either way, he'll be out there. Andre James, our starting center, will be good to go. He was dealing with an elbow injury. He was full Thursday and Friday. Good to go. Colton Miller, dealing with a knee injury. Good to go. That is great. We need our left tackle out there tomorrow. Jackson Powers Johnson is questionable. I got a feeling that we finally get a preview, not a preview, but we actually get to see this kid suited up against the Baltimore Ravens. We need as much help in the line. So
yeah, we do. The thing is, man, it's reps. But I don't think Jackson Powers Johnson is going to get the reps that he's looking for now. You know what I mean?
It's still we already have our starting O-line wasted, right? There's no real reason to play with it. They were terrible week 1, but you have to. It's repetition, right? You got to allow those guys to go out there and play and figure it out. You know what I mean?
The problem is we weren't able to get any continuity in the offseason. Everybody was hurt. Colton Miller being out was big. You know, because he's the vet on the line. The thing with JPJ is that either which way, you know, wherever they put him this year, I want him to sit. I want him to learn. I want him to get as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're talking about inserting him at guard, and I think the need might be greater at center if Andre James continues to get, you know, put in the lap of his quarterback like this.
Agreed.
You know, listen, there are numbers, and we like to lean into the numbers. Hammer is a big numbers guy. Hammer always comes up with the stats, the numbers. That's the one thing that with Hammer that I've always loved when I do podcasts on Hammer, because Hammer has the raw numbers. He always does, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, sometimes the numbers don't tell the story. They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. In football, that's not always true.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing from Andre James, he's getting dominated. It doesn't look good. And there are times where, you know, last week they were saying that he allowed, you know, 2 sacks and you know, he had 3 hurries. It looked a lot more than that.
Yeah.
It looked like he was getting beat on. He got bailed out. It was one time where, you know, one of those sacks got attributed to you know, your boy Dylan Parham, and what wound up happening was it was really because of Andre James. So now we're in a situation where Jackson Powers-Johnson might not have to take that move to left guard. He might wind up being our center of the future this freaking year, because I'm going to tell you something. You cannot continue to have Gardner Minshew pressure like this and think that this offense is going to be able to do anything.
Yeah. Real quick, also, let's finish this off, man. JPJ is questionable tomorrow, you guys. So we may get an opportunity to see him debut in the NFL. DeCameron Richardson as well, dealing with a hamstring issue. He is officially out. We brought Webb back up off the practice squad, so there's some help there at corner. Tyree Wilson with the knee injury. It looks like it is worse than what we, initially thought. He is out. He did not practice all week long. He is probably going to be gone for a long time. And we brought our young pup on that just got cut from the Carolina Panthers. Was it Chasen? He'll be playing tomorrow. He is activated off the practice squad, so we will get an opportunity to see
Box to contain, baby.
See if he can live up to that first round hype. So there you have it, you guys. That is our updated injury report. Salute to Rambo. Waiting to see how we fight this game. Going to be a good litmus test on that culture AP is building. Cheers from Thailand. Salute to our guy Rambo Adventures. Hammer, how you feeling right now, man? Going in tomorrow, man. Yeah.
No, honestly, I think that the offensive line, hopefully, the one thing you guys were talking about before, preseason plays a part in this as well. These guys are not getting a whole bunch of reps as starters. Mm-hmm. And I've said this time and time again, and this is why I don't give out predictions before the season. I give it at least the first 2-3 weeks. These guys have to gel. They have to get used to this. You're not getting the full reps until the regular season starts.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous and shaky about this offensive line as it stands right now. How much longer? We just re-signed James during this offseason. How much longer do we have him for now? Another 2 years, 3 years?
Another 2 years. This year, it would be oppressive to cut him. You can't. The cap hit is I think it's like $7 million or something like that.
Essentially, it's a 1-year deal. We the way Tom Telesco and company structured it, we can get it. There's an out in it.
Next year, you can get out for I think a cap hit of $1.7 million.
Something like that. Yeah.
So this year it's bad. You have to ride out with him until next year. But bro, at the end of the day, you know what? He's getting paid pretty well, but he's not getting paid to where it's an oppressive amount of money where you couldn't just sit him down if need be. But at this point, you got to understand something. The Raiders are in a pickle, right? Because I know we're saying it's early. Everyone says it's early, right? But this is the thing about going 0-2, right? Now, since 2021. Since the 17-game schedule, 22 teams have started 2-0. 17 of them made the playoffs, 77.3%. 51 teams have started 1-1. 23 of them have made the playoffs at 45.1%.
Yeah.
But since we've gone to 17 games, 21 teams have started 0-2, and 2 have made the playoffs.
Shit.
Yeah.
So this right here could be an indictment on our entire season, right? And also conversely, right? When you start getting into the raw numbers of, this is normally Hammer's thing. So Hammer, you inspired me, right? So I did my little homework, right? Since 2005, I have a table up. I wish I could share it of time zones, right? Mountain time zone, the record against the spread, teams traveling west in the mountain time zone are 22-10, 68.8%, right? Mm-hmm. Teams going into the central time zone, are 37 and 44, 45% since 2005. But coming into the Eastern time zone, it is 44 and 57, 43.6% of the time, people pretty much win. So that means that there's almost a 60% chance that the Raiders are going to lose. And the Raiders, to be honest with you, are the worst team traveling east.
Yeah, and I believe I've seen a stat as well. Wait, so let me get this off real quick so we can get this off the screen. Salute to Joe, appreciate you. I don't think there's a path to be as motivated as Baltimore, but if we go 0-2, then respond by winning our back-to-back home games and beat Denver, it wouldn't be a bad start. Salute to my guy Joe, man. Appreciate you, brother, on the $10 holla. Real talk, man. Yeah, we have some winnable games coming up, right? If we lose to Baltimore, it definitely sucks to be 0-2. You got the Panthers, the Browns, who look bad with Deshaun Watson right now. It's still early, so we don't know. They can figure it out. Broncos, Steelers. There's some winnable games coming up after this game. We're definitely not out of it, you know what I mean? But I seen a stat wasted in Hammer. I believe it was something along the lines of Lamar Jackson is like 11-1 or 11-0 or something after losing a game. Like, he always finds a way to bounce back after a loss. I don't quote me on that actual statistic, but it was something along those lines. He always finds a way to win football games after a loss. So it's going to be tough to go out there to Baltimore. Early East Coast game, their first home game. They had an extended amount of time off after that Kansas City close L. John Harbaugh is going to have that team ready to go. They have a great, phenomenal offensive coordinator. They're going to figure it out. That O-line still needs some time to gel. One of the better defenses in the NFL, right? I mean, even without Nate Wiggins, I know they lost a few starters out there, but they still have some guys out there at the cornerback position. They have Brandon Stevens. They also have, I believe, who else is out there? They have a great safety group. They have Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams, Marlon Humphrey at corner.
They had some issues tackling last week, though.
Yeah, they did. They have
communication.
Ardarius Washington, I believe. Yeah. They have a nice group of DBs out there, man. So it's going to be challenging to figure out a way to win this game. But there is a stat out there that Lamar does not lose football games after taking the L. So AP, man, has to have this team ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, man. Now, we can name all of the reasons why the Raiders could lose this game, and there are a multitude of them, right? Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm going to tell you a huge reason why I think that the Raiders have a decided advantage that no one's looking at. The Raiders' defensive line has gelled in a way where even with the injuries that we had, they're going to be very, very effective tomorrow. And the Ravens' offensive line has been kind of shaky.
Yeah,
shaky. And they're going through some of the same issues that we are on our offensive line. Now, mind you, they have a lot more talent over there. But the thing about Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, these guys can wreck a game. Yeah. And this is what I'm looking for. And another thing is that Lamar Jackson is a turnover machine. He's been a turnover machine his entire career. And this is why I think that the Raiders, when you start putting up all of the reasons why the Raiders should lose this game, and normally when you have it, right, when the spread is crazy, you have all of these things stacked up against, that is how the football gods work. Yeah. They see all of that conventional wisdom. It's a sure thing. Yeah. And then boom, you get slapped across the face and you lose the game. I think this is a Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, Raider defense special. We need some turnovers because Lamar Jackson ball placement is horrible.
Terrible.
Jack Jones, if you throw some of the shit that Lamar Jackson threw out there last week to Jack Jones, he's going back the other way with this. We're gonna need a defensive score from the Raiders.
Not just Jack wasted. I mean, you look last week, we had some of the best rated corners, PFF and everything else. With Nate Hiles, who had a phenomenal game.
Corian Bennett had a
great game. 0 for 2. Herbert cannot throw his way. Great pass breakup on the boundary. I mean, and then Jack Jones. Look, Lamar's going to have trouble throwing the football tomorrow. Spill has been a blessing in disguise in coverage at the linebacker position. Divine Diablo has struggled, and AP was trying to hype him up in his presser. I'm sorry, you guys. I cannot buy that yet. I need to see more out of Divine Diablo. He struggled mightily. And shit, our safety struggled too, you guys. I mean, Epps had a bad game. Trayvon Merrick had a bad game. They need to show up because the corners did. You know what I mean? So
I got to push back on you, Graphk. They didn't have a bad game. I think that they were out there a lot longer than they expected. I think those were two guys. They were gassed. And they tackled bad. So they didn't have a bad game coverage-wise, but they missed a lot of crucial tackles. So I understand what you're saying, but I think what started happening at that end of the game, man, those 3 and outs, those turnovers, that kills the defense, man. It demoralizes the defense. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons with what happened in the second half. You know, you had a team, we had them held under what? Like, how many yards did they have in the first half, Hammer? Do you remember?
I don't. It wasn't much though.
It was like what was it like? It was well under. It was like what they had, like 34. I forget. It was like
Chargers had like 24
yards going into the second half, and then they broke it open on us because we come right out after the half.
On 4 plays, there were 129 yards.
Yeah, 4 plays, and those were 4 plays that look, with the human condition, humans get tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's demoralizing when you can't string together, even if you don't score a drive. What will start happening to the Raiders, the first half, we weren't scoring the football, but we were stringing together drives.
Yeah.
In the second half, we were just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And it's like, you get a cup of water, you get a breath of, and then you're back out there. And another problem is that, we were not using our safety depth. They weren't using Pal Mile and them guys the way they probably should have. And I think they probably should have gave those guys a breather last week.
Hammer, read this super, brother, and give us your take on this.
Just hopped on, man. I hope Yo, really?
Go ahead, bro. It's all good.
Hey, no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
Oh, that F out of here with that, Hammer. That F.
Y'all in the chat, y'all see it on the screen. I read that shit.
Hey, listen. Look, I'll read it. Just hopped on, man. I hope we see Glades come in and help secure the line.
No Diddy, man. No Diddy.
And we need to keep Lamar under 100 yards rushing. Pause.
Salute to my guy Cheese, man, on a $5 special. Salute to Rambo, spreading the love. Lamar one forced fumble, 2 INTs. Cheers. We got three turnovers from Lamar Jackson. That would definitely get us in this game.
Both the Lightning is about to be unceremoniously blocked. That F are you doing in here, you Charger fan? Ceremoniously blocked. Thank you.
Salute to the Mokes. And our offense plays as bad as week 1. I'm going to be pissed off. Going to have me crashing out. Going to start growling like Shannon Sharp.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about that nasty,
That's the
nasty
next
work.
soundbite coming soon, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all see the remix?
He said, GS Michelle. Not sure. He said, GS.
Yo. Salute, man. Hey, Bolt Light, I'm gonna get you up out of here in a second, man. I'm gonna let you have some fun in the chat real quick before I boom, get you out of here, man.
Unceremoniously.
Hey, real quick, we didn't say this yet, but make sure you guys wipe them feet, man. Break them thumbs, pay your bar tabs, hit that subscribe button on all 3 channels. Where it doesn't matter where you're watching, man. We appreciate you guys as always, but make sure get us in the algorithm, keep us in the algorithm, wipe them feet, y'all, and hit that subscribe button.
And make sure you guys remember that this stream is powered by BetUS. America's #1 sports book.
There you have it. Yo, salute, man. Everybody here to build it. Hey, did you guys see the news that came out today? The Raiders, Chargers, the whole brawl. Did you see the fines that were handed out?
No.
So it came out today, man. Salute to Pro Football Talk. Chargers wide receiver Josh Palmer, who was ejected from the game, was fined $11,255. The 4 Raiders were fined were Marcus Epps, $11,817. Max Crosby, $11,255. Christian Wilkins, $11,255. And Jack Jones, $5,472. So for those who are talking about, the fight at the end, everybody, who was involved. No suspensions were handed out. There was some financial, if you want to call it stress. This is pennies to these guys. I'm going to be real with you. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot of money. But the good thing is we have Jack Jones. We have Marcus Epps. We have all these guys, Max Crosby, available to us tomorrow. It wasn't, the NFL definitely did their thing on this because it would have been easy to play this Raider card right now, and we'd be Max Crosby and Jack Jones lists going into Baltimore. You know what I mean? So,
man, bro, like what we gonna do? We gonna take the grass out of football next?
I know
that this is what happens, man. I'm so sick of this shit, bro. Like you get these people. Oh my God, it's a brouhaha. I'm like, bro, back in the day, jokers used to be out there clotheslining each other, slamming people on their necks, and these guys push and shove a little bit, and they could possibly miss a game over that little fracas, man. Get the F out of here, man. This is football we talking about here.
Factory. Hey, Hammer, I want your opinion on this real quick. The other day, I know you guys all tuned in to Thursday Night Football, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. Our head coach came out, Antonio Pierce, stating that, Tua needs to retire. I tweeted it right when it happened that he needs to leave football alone. This is like his 5th, I believe, since Alabama. I believe it just came out that when he got that hip injury, right? Remember when it happened to Alabama? That hip injury happened, that he actually got a concussion that same play.
Yes, he did.
What is your guys' take on the whole Tua? And we'll get back to some Raider stuff, but AP did state that, he thinks that it's time for him to retire. I think, man, look, there's a ton of guaranteed money. He's going to get paid, I think, 90 regardless. Even if he retires, it's like 90 million guaranteed in that big contract that he just signed. How do you guys feel about the whole Tua situation? I think it's time for him to leave it. Just go ahead and hang him up. Salute to Rambo as well. Go ahead, Hammer.
So, I had this. It's funny. Shout out to Tim Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
We had the show the other night.
Great interview, too. Great interview.
Talking about the company that he's the founder of, and it has to do with helmets and protecting the head, protecting the trauma. And crazy enough, we're doing it during that game.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, God. We were talking about that during the live the other night, and this incident happened. He sent me a text almost right after. Then Tua goes out and gets a career-ending concussion. Some crazy shit as we're talking about that the other night.
So you're saying it's career-ending? You think it's career-ending?
You were in that fencing position when you took that hit.
Yeah.
That was bad, man. And
yeah,
this is why I stopped playing a couple of years ago. I had 3 in a month, and one was really, really bad. I got blindsided, and my teammates told me after the fact, yo, they were targeting you.
Hey, wait a second. It all makes sense now.
Yo, wait, hold on.
It all makes sense why our little bro just can't get his shit together, man.
Bro. Wait a minute. You was playing 37U?
I was playing
playing a dope Pop Warner, bro.
I was playing the
No, I thought you were in what's that called?
The semi-pro dope Pop Water 37U. Get the F out. Yo, are you serious, bro?
Up
the F is wrong with you.
2016, I stopped playing, but that third one, it was yeah, you're done. You're done. And to me, that actually wasn't even the worst one I ever had. The worst one, I was actually unconscious for 10 minutes. And that was from playing baseball. But to have that many times you've taken headshots like that, and I think Mike McDaniel might have said it, but I had this conversation with somebody today about this. Dude, you're the quarterback and captain of your family first.
Yeah.
You got 140 million reasons guaranteed to say, hey, I'm done. Yeah. Preserve your life, bro. Because I've had the conversations. I've people think I joke about it when I say it. My short-term memory is not there.
No, I know.
When my time comes, my brain is getting donated to science, and it'll be told you so. I got CTE.
Your brain got donated to science 2 years ago.
he's got to call it. He's got to call it quits, man.
Nah, facts, man. Wait, so how you feel about we laugh and we playing into it, but
hey, man, look, when I saw that hand, bro, coming from boxing and just in playing the game myself and seeing the way that his arm, you can tell that it's beyond just getting your bell rung. There's something neurologically wrong, right? And it's the same premise as boxing. Once somebody gets viciously knocked out, I'm going to give you an example. Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was unstoppable. Roy Jones Jr. was the best fighter in boxing for a very, very long time. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close when we were growing. It was not even close. Roy Jones was here and everyone else was here. Mm-hmm. And when Roy Jones finally got knocked out, it just seemed like his cognitive abilities and his reflexes and everything just continued to kind of plummet, right? He lost his reflexes, and a lot of Roy's defense was his legs, and he started getting viciously knocked out, right? Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. With Tua, the next step is death.
Yeah.
The next step is death or irreparable damage to his limbs. He won't be able to move. When you have 2 scary concussions like that, you have to put your well-being over, the game. Now, if he doesn't, then it's time for the National Football League to step in and say, hey, man, we can't continue to condone this. Your doctor's clearing you. We know we need to see what the hell is going on here. We can't have you on that field. And that's a bad look for the National Football League.
Yeah.
It's a bad look for the National Football League. When you start looking at it, a lot of the times, man, the league will sit up there and they will cut to a commercial because they want you to think that this game is a safe game, right?
Yeah.
Like America at this point in our history, we have this sickness where we feel like everything has to be perfect. We have to live in this utopia. We have to have, power for every home, and we got to have a million different devices and have convenience. And then there's supposed to be no, collateral damage to the environment, right? You know what winds up happening when you have a great sport like the NFL, the goose that laid the golden egg, you make all this money. It's a violent sport. People love that violence. There's a collateral damage to that. Yeah. And this is something that the league has tried to shy away from. They try to make the National Football League, quote unquote, safer. You can't be safe in a sport where you got men that are over 225, 30, 40, 50 pounds that are the best athletes in the world, 9% body fat running into each other. It's just, there's no way this game will ever be safe.
We'll say this. We'll get off the whole Tua situation, you guys. Rest, prayers to him and rest up.
And you about to say rest in peace?
No. I was going to say rest up.
What the F is wrong with you?
No, rest up. Rest up. You know what I mean?
What the F is wrong with you, Graphk?
I'm feeling that Tua, man, he's a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to try and come back. It is what it is. But the irony in this situation is that Damar Hamlin was the one on the tackle, and it was a great tackle.
Yeah, right.
It's just insane the way the way it happens, right? It's like Damar died literally on the football field, and he may have been the one that was there in connection with Tua never playing the game again. The irony, the world is just so crazy with how this shit happens. But salute to Tua, man. Hopefully, brother, look, you got your money. You got a beautiful family. Leave it alone. Real talk. I'm even shocked that Damar Hamlin's still out there. I'm going to be real with you.
I am, bro.
You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. Salute to the Mokes. I think it's 4 years in the active roster to get the NFL pension. Let him sit on the IR and then retire. Salute to my guy, the Mokes. But he already went through his 4 years, right? He got his extension. This offseason was rookie deal.
Yeah, so he's going to be vested in that pension. He'll be vested. He'll have benefits for the rest of his life. He has his money. Hopefully, he did the right thing with his money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, look, we are a football family, right? We love the Raiders. We support the Raiders
definitely
singularly, but we support the sport of football and the well-being of all the players in the National Football League. We are pundits, and we follow the game of football because we love the game, right? Yep. And we want to see guys that go out there and play the game return to their families the same way they were before they started. So that's why it's relevant. I know a lot of y'all like this is a Raider podcast, but it's definitely relevant because the thing is this, man, the way that the league handles this is something that's going to send reverberations throughout the league. Yeah. Let's pray and let's put some coverage over the Raiders, and hopefully our guys don't get hurt like this, man.
Yeah. Salute to Raider Ryan, man. Some things are bigger than the game, like his life. Salute to my guy, Raider Ryan. I want to say this real quick because before we get into the whole keys to victory, I'm going to hand it over to Hammer here in a second. But I want to say this, you guys. I've seen this week, right? It feels different because in recent years, when we lose one game, two games, the excitement is still there. It seems like all the air has been deflated out of this season already after 1 week. And mind you, guys, we played into it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that everybody's jobs. Y'all may not agree with me here. Everybody's job should be on the line this year. Look. There's a reason why AP is our head coach. The players went to bat for him, right? He 5-4 last season, kind of reversed the curse that Josh McDaniels put on this team. They decided on not going up to get a quarterback. Took Brock Bowers at 13. We love Brock Bowers, you know what I'm saying? But we still have not gotten our quarterback yet, right? I understand everybody's frustration. I see it on Twitter. I see it on YouTube. Everybody is just kind of like over this. They're already over it. It's only 1 week. Yes, Getsy's offense looked bad. Yes, the O-line looked terrible. Yes, the defense kind of came to that L in the fourth quarter, when they allowed J.K. Dobbins to just absolutely gash us in the ground game, right? But at the end of the day, we need to sit here, man, and understand it's a long season, 17 weeks. We still have a lot of football left. let's not give up on our football team, y'all. We are Raiders. You know what I mean? We've been here before, so we understand this. And mind you, I think we can all agree. I think everybody in the chat and us three, when we named Gardner Minshew, or it could have been Aiden, our quarterback, we weren't expecting to win the Super Bowl. We just wanted to be competitive. We wanted to go out there and show them that we can do what we have.
Graphk, I want to say something to you, bro. I love you, brother. You know you my guy. But that is utter bullshit, bro. If they were to fire AP this fucking year, Mark Davis, they need to take the team from him if he does that. Bro, that's the fucking problem with the Raiders, bro. We have this mentality, bro, that we can't build towards something. And then what we do is in the middle of the process, we don't see it through and we start all over again. And then you have a bunch of players that fit this guy's scheme, and then some new asshole comes in, and then we got to get rid of all these guys. And then we get nostalgic and we're like, oh, we got to bring this guy back. Why did we ever get rid of him? Bro, we got to see the process through. We knew that there was something wrong here. We knew that we had a quarterback here for like a decade and we never got over the hump. We knew something needed to change. We brought in a new coach. It didn't work. But once you went and put your eggs in that AP basket, you have to give this man at least 2 to 3 years to see this through. Now, the reason why everyone is saying that, and I'm going to tell you why, I totally disagree with you, bro, because, yo, people are looking at this and they wouldn't be saying it if, one, AP had more head coaching experience. 2, had, Jim Harbaugh not been available. And we, like I said before, we argued about this before. We don't know that Jim Harbaugh even considered coming to the Raiders. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I can't live with that. I know that we made a decision to keep him. All these players here asked for him. And at the end of the day, we have to do the best thing to support this guy to help him win. Now, listen, we're building a defense. That is the foundation of this team. And let's roll forward with that. Okay. If you don't have a starting quarterback, then
listen, I'm not arguing your point. What I'm saying is this. At the end of the season, and Hammer, I want your take on this. If we end up winning 5 to 7, 8 games, right, with AP, and Ben Johnson becomes available, which he should because he stuck around with Detroit one more year to run that offense out there, right? Graham sticks around. He doesn't take a head coaching position. You have your defense still intact, and Ben Johnson can provide that spark offensively. Bruh, I'm taking it. I'm sorry, bro. If AP, thank you for rebuilding the culture and showing us, if we can't go out here and be competitive this year, Wasted. I'm talking about be competitive. We can lose a ton of games, but if we lose the way we did in week 1, where it's you put up 10 points, and I'm sorry. If Ben Johnson, a guy that can potentially be a once in a blue moon type guy at the head coach position available, you have to take a look at that. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. Bro, we were Raider fans forever. We understand the rotating doors. Wasted, we've been there forever.
Bro, listen, I'm not gonna say that this doesn't reek of Joe Bugle. Joe Bugle was the interim coach after Mike White, and everyone wanted him. And Joe Bugle had a hell of a resume, way more accomplished as a positional coach than AP, because he came from under that Joe Gibbs tree. He was the offensive line coach for the Redskins when they won all of those Super Bowls and stuff. Joe Bugle was a hell of a coach. He was a hell of a coach. But I'm going to tell you something. This is the wrong approach to take. What is that? What is that feedback, Hammer? Is that you?
It's Hammer. Every time we have Hammer on,
yeah. As you, Hammer.
My bad.
The F is going on here, Hammer. Hammer, you're about to be unceremoniously blocked. The F is going on here. Unceremoniously blocked. But see, this is the thing, Graphk. And these are the two things, right? One, does Ben Johnson even want to come here? Like, see, we always get so caught up in the next, right? The thing is that it doesn't matter. Money's not always the determining factor, bro. It's not always the determining factor.
We have a top 5 pick, Wasted, and he can go get his quarterback.
Bro, what happens if we don't have the top pick? Like, see, that's the thing, bro. Some of these coaches want that top pick. They want to be in the right situation. They want to go to the right kind of organization because they know there's only 32 of these jobs, and they might not ever get another chance to be a head coach again. They might not ever get that chance again. So that's the thing. And with AP, what I would tell you is this, man. And Sanjit was one who opened my eyes to this. It is not so much about the head coach all the time, but the person, when you do get that young quarterback, the person that is developing and calling the plays for said quarterback.
Okay.
So that is most important. You got to
wait,
support AP. You don't go and throw the baby out with the
I'm
bathwater.
not saying I don't support AP. I want to win
Not
now.
you. I'm talking about if we're 0-16, then all right. But if the Raiders are 7-9 or 6-10, you don't.
Let me
get rid
ask
of
you
it, bro.
this. Right now, we have a coaching staff. Well, if we go get a young quarterback, say we draft in the top 5, who's gonna groom that guy? Who's gonna develop him?
See, that's more of the change that would need to be made.
What? Just offensive coordinator?
Offensive coordinator. That would be the change that would need to be made. Somebody that you can entrust with that young quarterback. If Luke Getsy is not able to turn this around, he is the guy who was on a short leash, not the freaking head coach. To me, that would make the Raiders look rudderless. It would make them look inept, and it would set this organization back 20 years because perception becomes reality, bro. The media is already bagging on the Raiders, right? Then players in the media, and see, this is the thing, man. But now we get a look behind the veil a lot of times because you hear all of these player podcasts. You hear all of this stuff. These guys pay attention to that. The Raiders are in a very good situation financially. They have great facilities. We have great players in the building, and we have a coach that people can get behind and believe in, right? I think the change that would have to be made is you can't go into another season with a journeyman quarterback if we play bad this year. Right? You can't.
I'm sorry. The way I seen us lose that game week 1, it's not. It's about how we lost. It's not because we lost. Like AP made some bad decisions. Luke Getsy had a terrible game calling an O. The O-line was bad. All these disastrous decisions, and I know it's week 1, but all I'm saying is this. And why? Let me ask you this, Wasted, and I want to ask Hammer as well. Why have we not seen what AP's contract looks like? How many years is here? What is his salary?
We don't know. But what I would tell you is
every coach's contract comes out pretty much.
We don't know, but Graphk, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't care. I'm not the one that gotta pay him. And I don't care whether there's a trap door there. What I'm saying is that theoretically, if the Raiders do not go out there and kind of amend the mistake. See, with this situation, what you have is you have a guy who set the table with the culture. Now, if he loses the locker room, that's something else. That's something else. That's something total. But you won't see that until next year. Now, if we go into next year and it looks this way, then you got to do what you got to do. But you don't fire that man after his first year, bro. You don't do that. That looks terrible.
I'm not still it, but I don't give a shit how anything looks. Bro, if a guy like Ben Johnson is available, a guy that could be a generational head coach, you have to take a look at it. Look, if he's not available and he decides to go somewhere, I understand. But, bruh, this guy helped turn around the Detroit Lions. See, they have a guy like AP and Dan Campbell that changed the culture in Detroit, right?
So you go get the next Ben Johnson. Bro, I've watched, bro, you can go in college. Who knows? Ben Johnson wasn't Ben Johnson before he was Ben Johnson. Like, bro, every year there's always this offensive genius, right? There's always this guy that's going to hang the moon, and he's the greatest offensive coordinator of all time. And we got to give him a head coaching job. And most of the time, it doesn't work. I remember everybody saying that about Mike Martz. You remember Mike Martz? The greatest show on turf. And he won a whole hell of a lot more than Ben Johnson did. What I'm telling you is it does not always work out, bro. And just
league.
because what happened?
It's a different league now.
Bro, I don't want to hear that shit. Everybody always said
different league, man. They pulled a quarterback.
Different league.
They pulled a quarterback out of a chip.
I don't want to hear that shit, bro.
They pulled a quarterback out of a chip factory.
Bro, you got a quarterback who was Mr. Irrelevant in the Super Bowl. It's the same league. Get the F out of here with that, bro.
Man, always wrong, man.
You're always wrong. Brock Purdy took a team to the fucking Super Bowl. This guy should be bagging groceries, man. I don't want to hear that shit. It's the same league.
Jimmy G took that same team to the Super Bowl. Salute to the Mokes. If we play bad again this week, do you think it should have been better to keep Bo? No, not at all. Bo had to go. This feels like Del Rio with Musgrave again. Salute
you know what this feels like? This feels like you always wanted hardball because that was your thing. You wanted hardball. And now you want to run AP out of here and the first thing smoking if it
Bro,
doesn't
I
fucking
know
go.
it's not about
Get that F out of here. That's what you're doing right now. And I can't believe you right now. F out of here, Graphk.
Salute to Damian Cole. After the last 20 plus years, I just want the Raiders to build from the coaching staff first, keep consistency, and build the team from there. Cole, I agree with you. The thing is this. I hope AP is the guy. I hope that he can turn this thing around. I truly do. I am 40 years old. I don't know how long I have left on this earth. I have never watched my team win anything that mattered. Period. The best game I ever watched in my fucking life was the Raiders beating the Tennessee Titans in Oakland for the AFC Championship game to go get cooked by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't have too much time left, you guys. I'm sorry. The way my heart pumps every goddamn Sunday with this team, wasted. We talk about it, bro. We don't know. We old as shit. I want to win now. AP, turn this thing around, please. You decided on
so you want him to turn it around with Gardner Minshew in the center. Get that. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, yo, the thing is, drafting a quarterback, you got to make sure the kid is in the right situation, bro. Like, you got some of these young quarterbacks like CJ Stroud. How does CJ Stroud look if Bobby Sloak is not calling the plays? Look at Bryce Young. Look at the situation he's in. We don't want to bring a young kid in here and turn this shit into to Carolina, because essentially that's what we be doing. If you bring another coach in here, bro, my God, this turns into the Panthers. You got Devontae wanting to leave. You might have Max wanting to get out of here.
He's gonna be gone soon. It is what it is,
bro. But the thing is that what you have to do is you have to make it make sense for you and the organization. You want to make sure that if he's leaving, you get something for him, and it's going in a place where, okay, he's gone, probably will be gone, right? But we got somebody in place. We got a pick. We kept our defense intact. We kept Patrick Graham here. We don't need this dumpster fire. We don't need Patrick Graham leaving, and then now it's a new defensive scheme. Now this player doesn't fit. Now we don't need Nate Hobbs because he don't fit my scheme. We don't need Christian Wilkins. We paying him too much. We don't need this. Like, bro, that's not what we need. That's the reason why the Raiders are in the problem that they're in, bro.
Well, how you feel about this, man? Shut wasted the fuck up.
The F out of here, man. Yo, you know, this is the one time, bro. You need to. I wish I was controlling the chat. Listen, I would mute your ass for 5 minutes talking this trash. The F out of here, Graphk.
Salute the 10 Commandments. Hammer, go ahead and read your super brother and give us your take on all this shit. Because Hammer over there watching the Longhorns game, he ain't paying us no mind at all right now.
I know, man. You look like a little kid on punishment, bro.
That's what it feels like. We're on a nice trajectory right now. We drafted well. Now we must keep the momentum. The dynasty will rides out a solid, consistent decision going forward. AP gets you Graham for 3 years minimum. Look, if our defense cooks this season, if our defense is within that top 5, top 10, like we're predicting, Graham might be gone. Sorry to say it, but he might be gone.
He probably be head coach. Yeah, you're right.
If we have a ridiculously bad season, which I don't think we will, AP is not going to be the first person to go. It's going to be Getsy. The coordinators normally 9 times out of 10 are the sacrificial lambs. And what's crazy is we heard AP in the press conference the other day talking how he's been more focused on the offense than he has the defense. He put it out there in the presser that they're running more of a West Coast style offense. We've seen previous Raider regimes run that West Coast style offense, including Gruden. We have to give this time and let this team gel. Like the O-line, like I said, I'm nervous about. I'm questioning right now why we don't have Parham as it stands since JPJ is not starting yet, why we don't have Parham at left guard. I wouldn't mind having like maybe putting DJ Glaze at the right guard position and have Mumford at right tackle. Like what Whitehair was doing last week, And like you said, wasted. Like you said before, in regards to like the numbers, especially like the PFF shit. To me, the PFF, that analytics shit, I hate analytics with a passion. That shit doesn't show exactly what these guys are doing on the field. When you're watching them get put on their backs every 2 seconds, no Diddy if necessary, giving up, not having our running backs getting tackled in the backfield. The PFF numbers don't mean shit.
No, bro. You know what Dylan Parham? If Dylan Parham gets manhandled the way he did last week, instead of being left guard, he should be left out. I'm sick of this shit, bro. Like, you can't die on that hill with some guy who came into the league being a guard at 285 pounds, bro. Like that's another piece. But I don't want to start attacking players this week too. But what I will tell you is this, bro. No matter who's here, right? No matter who, you have to make sure that you put these guys in a situation that's advantageous to them being successful. AP is not in a situation that is successful. AP has not been in that situation, right? They have not gone out and gotten a quarterback. You have to at least go out there, get him a chance to line his quarterback up and find the guy who's going to develop said quarterback. I think the reason why you didn't get a who's who at offensive coordinator is because of the fact that the Raiders were not going to move up to get a quarterback, and they weren't in a position at 13 to draft one of the top guys. If the Raiders season careens off the cliff, right, which I hope it doesn't, right? If it careens off the cliff, then you're going to have a who's who of guys that are next in line to be offensive coordinators salivating at this job. Now, can you restructure Davante Adams? Yeah, right. But if you're Davante Adams, are you receptive to that? Probably not. Davante Adams, listen, and I don't want to get into Davante Adams. Maybe he likes being here, maybe he doesn't. But what I'll tell you is this: Davante Adams is not getting any younger. And the one thing that he wants to be in the cherry on the top of his career is he wants to win a championship. Now, does he want to stay down and stay true and try to build this thing? I hope he does. But if I'm being honest, ever since I saw that documentary, we've all seen it, right? We see the body language. We see that people keep bringing it up. Where there's smoke, there's always fire in the National Football League.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't give a shit whether he's a Raider, like after this year, because maybe it might not be the best thing for this team because his career path is not congruent with the path of the rest of the guys in that locker room. We have a young organization that's building towards something that within a year or two, you can, if you make the right move, and I'm not talking about going out there and throwing the baby out with the bathwater, bro, making the right move. This is the problem with the Raiders, bro. They'll start fixing the kitchen up, right? And then once they almost get the kitchen done, right, they'll go out there, they put the marble down, they do the floors, they put the appliances in. And then when it's time for them to put the knobs on the cabinets, they scrap the whole project and knock the house down. And they rebuild from the foundation.
I'm going to say salute to Joe, salute to everybody that's doing the supers, man. Salute to you guys. I appreciate you guys. More money wasted and never flame me, ever. I'd say this.
It happens on a daily basis.
I don't feel for Davante. He went from a situation in Green Bay where they were expected to win year in and year out to a team that's made the playoffs maybe 3-4 times in the last 20 years, right? Like, I think he should have knew what he was getting himself into. I don't feel for Davante at all. I don't care if he agreed. The Derek Carr led teams were bad. So he knew what he was getting himself into. He thought, I'm gonna be the one to be the bright spot that was going to change this. No, it's not enough. It starts at the top, then it trickles down, right? It always does. At the end of the day, man, if Davante at some point this season wants to get out, be our guest. Like you said, if we can get something for him, especially an early round draft pick to potentially go secure a quarterback of the future, I'm cool with that because finding a receiver in today's NFL is a lot easier than trying to find a quarterback that we have not been able to locate, especially in the draft since 2014 when we found Derek Carr and thought we had our guy. And then previously before that, it's been forever. Salute to Cheese, man. What's the chance Marvin Lewis and Tom Coughlin didn't speak up and let AP learn the hard way last week? I don't think there's any chances of that.
Look, bro, and let's say this. Tom Coughlin's not on the sideline. He's not in the building. He's just a guy that has AP has his ear, and he's a guy that AP leans on. But Tom Coughlin is not actively with the team every single day, right? And Marvin Lewis, when you start talking about Marvin Lewis, it's not like Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis is a defensive head coach, right? And also, when you start undermining what guys do and how people handle, timeouts and things like that, now all of a sudden you're upsetting the apple cart. You got to have one man, one voice. Right now, I don't necessarily know, and I saw this on the sideline with AP. Right, AP's asking questions and trying to get answers before he makes certain decisions. Right, and I think that is a detriment to this team. I think AP needs to trust himself.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Graphk.
No, because I have a question for both of you guys. Let me ask you this. Do you think that any offensive coordinator that is going to be available this offseason, right, would want to put their reputation on the line for a guy in AP that's only coached for a year and a half? Do you think that they would want to come to a team, a great offensive mind, come over here and potentially put their reputation, their name on the line?
Yeah, why not? Why not? If you don't have some domineering asshole offensive quote unquote genius head coach and you can go in there and essentially be almost an assistant head coach, that's the best case scenario for a guy that's a great play caller. especially a team like has as much talent as this team does. The F out of here, Graph.
Yep.
Both of you guys, y'all just be wrong and shit. This shit's crazy.
The F out of it. I can't believe you want to tear the whole organization down, Graphk.
Hey,
Graph. You.
hey, man, devil's advocate, baby. Devil's advocate. Let's have some fun, man. Salute to the Mokes. Graph reminds me of the guy from Blood In, Blood Out. I want to own the whole damn store. Real
Graphk, you want to tear the whole situation down to the ground, don't you? You know, I wanted to do the same thing in Gotham. But Graphk, I'm going to tell you something. You're absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. You need to drink your Modelo and get a clue. Wrong. Thank you, Amber.
I want to say this. I hope AP cooks the rest of this season. I hope we find a way to stay competitive. Well, find a way to get competitive. You know what I'm saying? And find a way to turn the tide and we get a few wins here and there, because I'm telling you now, they're going to lose a lot of people here. They're going to lose a lot of people that are so invested in this product because it's just continuously just bad.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, like AP has an opportunity here to be the guy, the Raider guy born in LA, to bring back that, you know, that feel. It's more than just that, though, you guys. Y'all know this. It's about the X's and O's. It's about putting the right personnel together. I'm sorry. I love the idea of AP. If you can't win with all these head coaches around you, former head coaches, the Joe Philbins, the Marvin Lewises of the world, all these great minds, the Cadillac Williams in the backfield was a great running back helping our ground game. You know, the James Craig, who was in the NFC Championship last year, helping that O-line out. If you cannot win with these coaches, we may have a problem on our hands, my brothers. That's all I'm saying. It's only been 1 week. We can go into Baltimore tomorrow and blow these guys out. Pause if necessary.
Bro, that is the biggest load of shit I think I've heard in the last.
Hey, no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
And I'm going to be real with you, bro, because at the end of the day, you can have the greatest coaches in the world, right? But if you don't have the horses in the stable, you ain't going to get anything done. Yo, we got Gardner Minshew at starting quarterback.
Who did that?
Yo, the thing about it is did they really do that? Did they really do that? Like, yo, at the end of the day, right? You have a guy that's a rookie head coach, right? So if anybody did that, you go back to the owner, right? You have a rookie head coach that the ownership chose to get Coupon Tom. Mm-hmm. They chose this, right? So we don't have a coach that's proud. He doesn't have final cut. Tom Telesco has final cut. He's the GM. So our organization is congruent, right? Tom Telesco was not willing to go out there and move up for a quarterback. It's not what he does. He kind of lets the board fall on him and he drafts the best player available, right? Now, Tom Telesco also has another tell in the way he drafts quarterbacks. He does not draft quarterbacks that are under 6'2". So he was the one who went through this whole draft without addressing this position. Even we could have got a guy like Spencer Rattler because of how short he is. That's why I think it's laughable. I hear people having rumors about, you know, us trading for Bryce Young, which is asinine, right? But the thing is that he would never do that because Bryce Young is short, and that's probably a lot of the reasons why he's struggling in the NFL. That's a lot of reasons why Kyler Murray didn't see freaking Marvin Harrison Jr.
You don't think the AP had any say in that draft class about quarterback? You don't think that he was beating the table for Aiden O'Connell to be the guy?
No,
wow.
I don't.
Wow. No, wait, bro, I thought I knew you, bro. I thought I knew you. Hey, what's today? The 14th?
Go ahead. May the Lord watch. This is a day. I don't think Antonio Pierce, if Antonio Pierce was beating the table for Aiden O'Connell to be the starting quarterback, he would be right now. He was beating the table for him so much they went out and gave Gardner Minshew $15 million. Come on, bro. Like come on, man. Like, no. I think what happened is that AP probably beat the table for Jaden Daniels, and I think that if there was a way to make that happen, they would have traded 3 first-round picks to make that happen. But after that,
while you're being wrong over and over and over again, right? Let me get these supers in real quick because I'm definitely.
You know what? Take that F out of here with your nonsense.
Messing up with the chat. Salute to Damian Cole. Trade Devontae now. He will retire before we become Super Bowl contenders. We need extra picks. I would love a first or a second and a third for him. It sucks, but it needs to be done. Salute to our guy Damian Cole. Salute to Raider Mike. Salute. Just got home from football. first, the nation needs to chill. It's only week 2. Give it another 5 games before we press the panic button. Salute to my guy, Raider Mike. Salute to the $20 on Raider Mike as well. Second thing is that we need a quarterback in this draft. Call it now. Dart, Ward, Ewers, or Aller? Our guys we need to start looking at now. Beck is going to be out of reach. Hell to the nah on Sanders and Moreau. Much love. Salute to my guy on a $20 special, my dog Raider Mike. And salute to the we pick a day for one guy to be the bad guy, one guy to be the good guy, right? This is bad cop, good cop tonight, baby. Right, time it is, man. Get me out of here. So that's the deal. Do we want them to win? If you want to draft a quarterback, you need a bottom 3 season.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I don't necessarily subscribe to that. You don't, dude. Like, it's the thing too about the whole quarterback thing. Like, bro, when you look at the top 10 guys in this league, right? And I said this on my show. You look at the top 10 guys in this league. Yeah, you do have those guys who are number 1 stone cold lead pipe back picks, right? You got Joe Burrow, right? But then you have guys that are drafted outside of the top 10 or at 10. So if you're a middling team, right, and you're at 13 or you're at 14, you can move up 4 spots to select a quarterback. You know,
how many teams wasted do you think right now? I don't want to cut you off that need a quarterback. It's us, the Giants.
Well, shit. Now there's 2 more, right? Because the Giants, you thought you had your quarterback, but you don't. And then Miami might need a quarterback.
No, they're going to need a quarterback.
Yeah, so now you got Miami. It all
Carolina may move on from Bryce.
Yeah, I you know what the thing? David Tepper is such a horrible owner, bro. I think he's swimming. He's swimming in it. He can't get rid of that kid that fast. He can't.
Hammer said, "Oh, y'all not gonna have me. You're not gonna let me say nothing tonight. I'm out of here."
Yeah, but bro, there's a lot of teams. Then you got to look at the fact that if the Cardinals move on from Kyler Murray too, right? There's a lot of different moving pieces in his league right now, so it all depends, right? But this is a draft that, you know, I think these are the best kind of quarterback drafts because there's not a definitive guy yet, right? So these are one of those drafts where you just don't know who the real number 1 guy is, right? Until we got to go through the whole college football season. We got to see, right? But the way it's looking, you're going to have guys, you're going to have 6 or 7 guys that are draftable in the first round. Yeah. And it's not always about when you're drafted. It's did you go to the right situation? Like, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen, I think, was taken 12, right? Jordan Love was taken like 26 or 27. Yeah. Jalen Hurts was taken in round 2.
You can go to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you know,
you can go to Aaron, right? That's a long time ago, but I'm just trying to keep it more recent, right? So when we start talking about this, like even Herbert, I think Herbert got taken 10, right? So you don't necessarily have to. Did he get taken? No, he got taken like 5th or 6th. I'm tweaking.
I thought it was like, it was before.
It was like 5th or 6th because Tua went right before him. So it was like 5th or 6th, right? But the thing is that you can get good quarterback play. But I think a lot of it is tied to the first round. You just got to commit to the first round, that being your first guy. And if you see your guy and you have the guy in the building, I think that the Raiders should be mining the fields of gold for the next bright mind in the NFL. I think that's more of their concern because you're going to need that with a rah-rah defensive head coach. Like when you talk about Bill Cowher, that's essentially – AP is essentially Bill Cowher. The only thing about Bill Cowher is Bill Cowher was a lot more accomplished as a position coach with the Browns.
Let me ask you this. If Ben Johnson and company go and win the Super Bowl this year, and it's because of the offense, then what? And we shit the bed this year. Salute the 10 Commandments as well.
Then listen, bro, if you shit the bed, it depends on what your interpretation of shitting the bed is. Like if you're talking about like 1 in 16 and shit, that's something that's egregious, right? And that's a total about face. If we're talking Joe Bugle egregious, then you got to consider what you're going to consider. But the way I see this team, I think this team is way too talented for that. I think that we have retained ownership over the Broncos and teams, and they're going to be harder to beat. I told you guys, like I told my chat, look, the Chargers ain't no pushovers, bro. They got their quarterback back. They got Jim Harbaugh. They've gotten that's a good football team. There's no shame in losing to them, but it's not that you lost, it's how you lost. Like you said, bro, it's more so about the style of play, Graphk. If this is a complete dumpster fire and he's in over his head, then that's going to take care of itself. But I don't necessarily feel like that's the narrative here. I don't think that's the problem with AP. The problem with AP and the problem with this team is that, there's 2 big things. we can't ever lose sight of the fact that we lost Malcolm Coons right before week 1. That's huge. Then in that game, you lost Tyree Wilson. So there goes your rotational pieces on the line, right? Then there goes that pressure from the other side of the field that you now have to go out there, and that wasn't an issue previous to this. Then there's another thing. Colton Miller not getting any snaps in preseason. These are all things that I feel like eventually will turn around and the Raiders will kind of fly closer to what they were last year, right? But this week is imperative. This week is imperative. And even if, win, lose, or draw, right? Win, lose, or draw, it's about the style of play more so than anything.
Real quick, before we get you got a couple seconds real quick before you do that? All right, so Hammer got to go do something. I'm going to ask you real quick. Keys to victory. Let's get Bro's opinion on this. I know we kind of got away and kind of got in our soapbox a little bit, was talking our shit.
This is fun.
Always. It's always fun. Hammer, what are your keys to victory tomorrow, on both sides of the ball? This is your show now. Me and Wasted are going to shut the fuck up.
Defensively, Max and Christian Wilkins have to just terrorize that right side. The interior offensive line was the Ravens' major problem in that loss to KC. Offensively, collectively, we need to do a better job with our interior offensive line, our line down the board as a whole. We have to run the ball. We have to establish that run. That way we can balance out this offense a hell of a lot more. We can try to go with the deep throws to Tay, get him a little bit more involved than he was last week. Brock did a solid job in his first game. Let him keep feeding him.
Agreed.
Jacoby stepped up as well. But collectively, that offensive line has to step up. We need to establish that run quick, fast, and in a hurry. Linebackers, we obviously need one to spy on Lamar. And the edge rushers, Max and who we have, J-Rob now?
It's going to be J-Rob, yeah.
Contain. That is your job responsibility against Lamar Jackson. Do not let him get outside of you tomorrow.
I want to ask you real quick, man, who are some players that you think will have a big game for us tomorrow?
Are we going to see Gaynor play tomorrow?
He'll probably be more of a special team, but he'll get some reps.
Spillane?
Okay, I like that. Look, who's going to cover these tight ends in Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews is going to come out mad. He only had 2 receptions, I think, for 14 yards.
They're trying to get him back into things. And that's the other thing with our edge rushers as well. Not just contain, but put some hands on those tight ends when they're lined up on the line of scrimmage. Outside shoulder, just push them a little bit. Get them off balance when they come off that line, man. We can't let them fucking loose. We can't let them free.
So I'm not really worried about the receivers. I got to be real here. Flowers is a monster. I mean, let's not act like he's not one of them ones. He's their speedster. He's the guy that can take the top off the defense. Do our corners see a lot of work tomorrow? Because,
if we stop the run, that's going to force their hand and make Lamar throw. And we know how his accuracy is not always the best. The way that'll be a huge problem for them if they force their hand and make them throw more than run and try to shut down Henry again. Only 13 touches last week.
Yeah, for like 54 yards in the teddy or something.
That was not an intricate part of their offense. And from what I read earlier today, Harbaugh pretty much said he was brought here not to run 30-plus times a game. Congratulations, you played yourself, because when that dude is fed, it's a wrap. So keep giving him the ball 12, 13 times a game.
But would they ever run him 30 times with Lamar Jackson, who's always going to be their leading rusher?
For them, and obviously this is a Raiders channel, but if I'm in that situation as a head coach, and I've seen his numbers in the past and what he can do and what he does when he has a certain amount of touches, give him 20 in the ballpark of like 20 to 25 a game. Okay, you have to feed that dude. We have to stop that tomorrow.
Go ahead, brother. We'll still be here for a second. If you pop back in, we're still here. Pull back up. I have to go do something real quick, you guys. Wasted. One player tomorrow that I think we need to make sure that we keep under wraps is Justice Hill, a guy that absolutely was killing the flats against the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, didn't get the ground game going with Derrick Henry. Justice Hill was a guy that got very active in the passing game. Their offense wasn't clicking. You can tell the O-line wasn't holding up for Lamar. So he was getting rid of the football pretty quick. And Justice Hill was one of those bright spots on that offense. You know what I mean? Like give me some takes as well on what we need to do, keys to victory, maybe some players to keep an eye on.
Well, this is the thing. When you talk about stopping the run, right? Justice Hill is huge because, like I said about Derrick Henry, man, Derrick Henry is the kind of running back where he needs. He's a guy. He's a pitch count runner.
Yeah,
you can't give Derrick Henry, a snap or two, and then you run 6 or 7 plays without him touching the football. That's not what he's used to, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is that when people see that, people say, well, you got Derrick Henry, that's going to be huge. That's great. But the thing is, they didn't bring Derrick Henry here to take the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands. Lamar Jackson's the league MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the straw that stirs the drink for that offense. He is the guy that is going to be dropping back. He's going to be throwing the ball. He's going to be juking and jiving. They're not going to have Lamar Jackson be the kind of person that just, rears back and hands the ball off to Derrick Henry. And that's part of the reason why I wanted Derrick Henry, because that's a situation that would have been better for us.
Yeah.
Having a guy like Derrick Henry to take the pressure off of a Minshew or an O'Connell, right? And we can kind of run the offense through that running back and open up our passing game in that way, right? So I think more so than anything, the Raiders as a whole defensive unit need to focus on tackling. The Raiders tackling was atrocious last week. There were a lot of runs that broke after first contact, and that's the most important thing, to get back to the fundamentals of the game. Also, when you talk about our offense, we don't have Derrick Henry, but we do have Zamir White. This is a Zamir White special. Zamir White has to get going, and they have to lean into giving that man the ball, right? And if he does not get going in the first quarter, it's time to turn the offense over to Alex Madison. And so it's time, because let me tell you something, man. When you have a pedestrian quarterback, he exists in the gray areas of this offense. He exists in that gray area. Once that play breaks a little bit, he gets outside of that little crease. He can see down the football field. He gets that time. That only happens when the run is a threat. If the run is not a threat and the Ravens can pin their ears back and go after Gardner Minshew, this is get very, very ugly, man.
I want to ask you this real quick, and I want the chat involved as well. Salute to the 500 plus people still in the building here. Salute to our proud sponsors over at BetUS. If you guys can do us a favor, head over to BetUS. You can get 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next 2 using promo code YouTube150. Also, man, you can get up to $2K. It's the fastest payouts in the industry. Make sure you head over there and let them know that Graphk and Wasted sent you. I want to ask your opinion and the chats. What is your take on the spread here, the money line, the total? How do you feel about this?
Me or the chat?
You.
Hey, man, listen.
We got to earn it, right?
Yeah, we got to earn it, man. We got to earn it. That is that money line and that, touchdown and field goal. That's pretty much if things are chalk. That's a pretty decent line. It's not disrespectful at all. You know what I mean? If the Raiders lose this game, I could see the Ravens covering that, if I'm being honest, right? But the Raiders really have to adjust and coach this game and call this game in a nuanced manner, right? This is not a one size fits all policy. You have to go into this Ravens game and attack that defense in a way that's advantageous to you and your players, right? Zamir White is a guy that can be very explosive. We saw that last week. He's a guy, once he gets going downfield, if he holds on to the football, this guy can break a game open. I saw the speed. He's fleet-footed. He doesn't have the greatest of vision, but when you're as big as that guy is and as fast as he is, you kind of don't need to have great vision. I think the Raiders need to really focus on doing a lot of jumbo running, like bringing another lineman in to be a lead blocker, fullback, like going to old school smash mouth slobber knocker football, man.
I like that, man. Salute once again, everybody here in the building, and also salute to our proud sponsors. This show is powered by BetUS on both sides. Whether you're watching on Wasted Talents channel or my channel, man, we just want to say salute once again to our sponsors over at BetUS. If you guys want to put down on the line, total 41.5 points. The money line is plus 360. Spread plus 10 minus 120. The money line minus 45. I think that me personally, this may be a low scoring affair, Wasted, because our defense is phenomenal. Their defense is phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and take the under. This may be shocking, but I'm going to take the under personally on the points. How do you feel?
I'm taking the over. You
think we find a way to score?
Yeah, I think there are two ways you can take the over right now. If we don't find a way to score and our defense is gassed and they're on the field every other minute, then this is going to be a blowout.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But if we find a way to score, we don't just score once. We score a couple of times because we have some dynamic players. Like that's the thing. This thing is ready to hit its boiling point. Like there are too many dynamic players on this field for this to be a low scoring affair on the offensive side of football. Even though there are great defenses on both sides of the field, there are too many playmakers that are just one play away from being in the end zone in both of these offenses. Like the Raiders, let me tell you something, man. This is a huge 12 personnel week.
Oh, I like that.
This is a huge 12 personnel week. You have to scheme guys open. You gotta put Brock Bowers and Michael Mayers in a position to be successful. Yeah. Anytime you have a situation where you have Roquan Smith not being able to pin his ears back, and just be the disruptive linebacker that he is, that is a good thing. When you can get, when you can get him, backpedaling and have to cover 15 yards on the field, that is advantageous for you as a team.
Definitely, man. Salute, man. To Taino, he says 2019 Raiders. I like it, man. And salute to Taino. We'll see you next week. For those who are in the tri-state area, man, make sure you pull up on ShieldMore. We'll be live at Bar Anticipation out there in the Jersey Shore.
I ain't gonna be there. It's like, nah, we gonna be there in the place to be, rocking with all of y'all, man. And yo, I wanna let y'all know something, man. If you guys are in the place to be, make sure for the rest of the week you guys spam the chat and let me know that we're coming, because we want to show the people down at Bar Anticipation, the power of our audiences collectively, and let them know how much you guys rock with us. We packed that place out last year. Listen, Bar A is a big time bar.
Yeah.
Big Raider contingency down there. But let me tell you something, man. They had a banner week when we were there last week, and we want to make sure that's that same kind of situation. So you guys, please show up and show out.
And last time we were there, we blew out the Giants. So hopefully we see the same results with the Carolina Panthers. They look bad right now. Salute to Scott. JPJ is questionable, Scott. So we may get an opportunity to see our young pup, our second rounder out of Oregon. I'm not expecting him to play a ton, but he may get out there and get a few reps against the Baltimore Ravens on the road. So stay tuned. Questionable, not doubtful, questionable. And he's dealing with an illness. This has nothing to do with the concussion, the injuries, just an illness. So I'm expecting to see JPJ for the first time tomorrow. I want to ask you this, though. Do you see potentially Dylan being activated more? I think that we need as many, not running backs per se, but as many people active in the passing game as possible. And Dylan is one of those guys that can kill the flash. You can get the ball to him in the back, in the backfield, and he can he's a playmaker, a dynamic playmaker. Do you see Tyreek McAllister getting some reps on the offensive side of the ball against the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow?
No.
Oh shit.
Okay. No, because this is just a ball control offense, man. Last week we had a problem turning the ball over. So why would the Raiders go out there? And they might, but if you're asking me my opinion, right? Why would I go out there and put two rookies out there, especially when you talk about Dylan Labe, a guy that had an issue holding on to the football in the preseason?
Once.
Yeah, I mean, he got the Sonic rings knocked out of him. Once is big. If you only had like 8 carries in the league and you fumble one of them, that's bad.
No, it is. But I still believe that the kid needs to get out there and get an opportunity to get some reps.
Yeah, but this ain't the week. Do it next week against Carolina, because at the end of the day, bro, there's no amount of trickery. Like, you got to go in and win this game, bro. There's starting some rookie and all of this and that sounds cute, but at the end of the day, man, the guys that you're banking on, that when we went into this offseason, we were sold on, guys like Zamir White, and I can't stress this enough, guys like Brock Bowers, guys like freaking Michael Mayer, guys like Devontae Adams, they got to go and win this football game. Guys, I agree,
but I don't think vanilla is going to work against this stout defense. You got to do some things that are kind of outside of the typical Luke Getsy. I want to see Tyreek McAllister. He's a playmaker. Dylan Lobby, you get the ball in these guys' hands, some good things can happen.
Bro, so why am I scheming things up for guys that aren't as dynamic as the guys I already have?
Who?
Yo, Lobby and them guys are not as dynamic as proven guys. I'm
not saying that, but I'm still saying that they need to be accounted for. You know what I'm
saying? They do, but the problem is you already in your base offense, you got 3 or 4 guys that need to be accounted for, that they weren't able to scheme plays to get them in space by themselves. You need to focus on doing that first before anything. Like if Devontae Adams only gets one deep shot the whole game and you throw it out of bounds, that's a problem. I'm not even worried about no Dylan Larbe. I'm worried about making sure I can keep Gardner Minshew upright and really take a shot at Devontae at least 6 or 7 times. Or hey, getting Zamir White out there, getting freaking Brock Bowers, lining him up in a slot. I'm more so concerned about that because if I'm being honest, bro, if I'm the Raiders head coach, right, my season is damn near on the line. And I know it's early. Everybody's like, yo, well, it's only week 2. I told you earlier in this stream how much and how important it is to win this game. Just based off of the raw numbers and the facts of how seasons go, right? I'm not putting my season in the hands of a rookie.
I agree, but
that's saying not my first round pick.
I'm sorry, but okay, well, let me say this because that was my next thing. If you can't get the ground game going again, 2 weeks in a row, Zeus can't run the football effectively, right? Let's just say Alexander Madison is not having a great game in the ground game, and he didn't last week. He had a big play in the passing game. Nice touchdown, jumped over defender, phenomenal. But this is what I mean. You get Laube, a guy that, just like Watt said, there's no tape on him, right? Potentially line up Brock Bowers at the H-back. I want to see some different looks. If you can't get these guys going in the ground game, bro, we're in trouble anyways. If Zeus and Alexander Madison can't get the ground game going, we're in trouble anyways.
Yeah, and the thing is, with Laube, I don't see him being the guy to get it going. If they're not getting it going, for the most part,
in the passing game, wasted, not in the ground game. I just mean in the passing game, getting them involved.
In the ground game is more so, and even in the passing game, first things first, right? We have to deal with the elephant in the room, and that's the offensive line.
Definitely.
The elephant in the room is the offensive line. All of this other stuff, getting these guys and disguising and getting guys in space, the stuff we talk about, all those things, it does not work if these guys are not upright. The quarterback's not upright. And that's the main concern. It has nothing, to me, this has very little to do with who's out there. It's more so, is the quarterback able to just execute on any subsistent level?
Do you expect some jumbo packages? We talked about it earlier in the show.
Yeah, I would hope so, even though it's a zone blocking scheme. It's like with Craig, they do some of that stuff in San Francisco.
Yeah. Who would be your guy? Would it be Glaze out there?
Who'd be Glaze?
Potentially Jordan Meredith, one of those guys?
Glaze or Meredith, like your life depended on.
Maybe JPJ out there at some point in those jumbo packages.
Yeah. Maybe that's a great way to get him some reps.
Yeah. You know who we may see out there tomorrow wasted a lot, which I don't mean it potentially in receiving, as a receiver. You may see Harrison Bryant out there. He's one of our better blocking tight ends. You may see him
phenomenal.
Yeah, you may see him out there as well, helping that right side out to get this ground game going as well. I don't expect him to be
Mackey Award winner too, brother.
Yeah.
We got 3 Mackeys in the building, bro. The best tight end in college football. We got 3 of them in the building. Harrison Bryant is no punk when it comes to blocking.
I don't think Michael Mayer won one. I think that Brock won 2 of them back to back. He was the runner-up behind Brock.
Yeah, but it's 3 trophies. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Salute to Leo as well. Salute to the channel. Raiders need to establish the run. Facts. Stick to short passes. Minshew needs to feed Adams the ball and create that chemistry like how Dak and Lamb have and Stafford and Kupp have. Salute to my guy Leo on a phenomenal $10 special, man. Salute to my guy. Appreciate you, brother, as always. Bowers and Adams over the middle was there all day, but Getsy went away from it. Let me see. Getsy is not a Shanahan disciple. This is facts 916.
That's not true, because if once you go up the coaching tree, he's a LaFleur disciple, and LaFleur is
technically disciple. Shanahan. He's from the tree.
Yeah, but look, it's a pretty fucking big branch, right? So if you got Mike Shanahan and then you got Kyle, and then you have LaFleur, and then right there, like what
names about content creators that were tied to you? Would you say that they're disciples of you?
But there's not one. Listen, bro, you are the kingmaker in YouTube. I don't have anybody that's tied to me, brother.
No, I'm just saying, man. Salute to everybody here in the building. Yes, he is unleashed. He's definitely phenomenal at blocking. Facts. Who do you expect tomorrow, man, to have? And we're not going to be here too much longer, right? About an hour and a half in, you guys. I want to ask, who do you expect to have a big game for us tomorrow? Give us one on the offense and defense. We do this every week. Give us a player. Because I think personally on the defense side of the ball, let me just throw one out there. Adam Butler had a big game for us. He looked good.
He looks great.
But I want to say this. I think that Merrick needs to have a big game for us tomorrow. He's on a contract year. He didn't look good last week. missed it, a clear pick that hit him in the numbers, bounced around, and it clearly wasn't a pick. I got him on the defensive side of the ball. I think we need a big game from him. Offensive side of the ball, man. I think this is a Brock Bowers special. I do. He showed what he can do in week 1. I think that Gessie realizes what kind of stud he has. He's going to be lined up all over the place, Wasted. H-back, slot, X. He'll be all over the place. I think that Brock Bowers is going to have a big – I think it's going to be a tight end game on both sides, period.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They run like 53% 12 personnel.
Yeah.
The thing for us is, and I know the consensus will be Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams plays to the back of his baseball card. He gets, about 90, 100 yards, maybe a tud.
Okay.
But I think the guy that's going to help us break the game open is Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker is a guy that is very, very hard to account for if you have Brock Bowers and you have Devontae Adams and you guys have Mir White running the ball. That's the cherry on top right there. That's the guy that's the home run threat. That's the guy that, is going to get lost in the sauce and going to be getting covered by some, third or fourth defensive back. And he's a guy that now that he's, been linked up with the route guy, Devontae Adams, if you have him in single coverage with a guy who's probably shouldn't be on the field, that's the matchup every time. That's the matchup. You got to pick on whomever they have on Trey Tucker because Devontae Adams is going to be accounted for. Brock's going to be accounted for. And Jacoby Myers is, nobody goes to work underneath in the middle of the field like Jacoby Myers. He is a tactician. He is one of the better receivers in his league, man. A lot of people don't like to give him the credit he deserves, but he is one of them ones, right? So yeah. Tucker is the guy that if you have to live with him being one-on-one out in space, he's the guy that you want to live with because he hasn't exhibited that he can take the top off of the defense yet. I think this is the week he has his coming out party.
I got 2 players, and I want your 2 as well, that need to have a big game that may be on the brink of losing their job. Divine Diablo at linebacker. He needs to have a big game for us. He needs to show that at least – and I'm not saying he's going to lose his job after week 2. I'm just stating that he needs to have a big game because there's already a shit ton of question marks where he had a bad game. AP hyped him up and said, we already have really 2 great linebackers. You can't give Divine the great tag. You can't do that. And I think Cody White here at left guard needs to have a big game for us because with JPJ back in the fold now, he potentially will lose his job tomorrow. Wasted. Give me 2 guys that you think needs to have big games for us to show up or potentially lose their jobs.
Bro, and I don't know if they're going to lose. He's going to lose his job, but he probably should be in line to is Andre James. Andre James going against Matabuke.
Yeah. Oh.
Look, this guy, is probably the equivalent. I can't say he's the equivalent, but he is a guy that when you start, it's a little room of tackles in this league. And it's a room that Christian Wilkins and Chris Jones and Justice Simmons are in. He's in that room. Yeah. That guy is disruptive as hell. And those are the matchups where when he has to go one-on-one with a true difference maker up front in the middle of a defense, he normally struggles. This is a game where he earns his money because it shouldn't be every play where you got to help him and he can't guard the guy at all.
And Wasted, why did we sign him back? Because this system was apparently supposed to fit his skill set, right? And week 1, it didn't. So I agree with you. I think Andre James' head should be on a swivel tomorrow. Give me a guy on the defensive side of the ball outside of Divine Diablo that you think needs to have a big game for us.
Man, it's very, very simple, man. When you start talking about who needs to have a big game, he's not going to lose his job. But, at the end of the day, man, it's Max Crosby. Max Crosby has to disrupt this game. There's a reason why he's getting paid that kind of money. It's a reason why we laud him as the leader of this team. He's going to have to lead us in the victory. He's going to have to be a difference maker and go out there and disrupt this game in a way that shows up on film and in the stat line.
I like that. Simple and plain, not going to lose his job. We know that, right? But the defense goes as Max Crosby goes. So I agree with you. Last week, not having the pressure on Joe Alt. Joe Alt didn't give up the pressure. Rashawn Slater did not give up pressure. Like, we need that defensive line. And I could put some pressure on J-Rob as well. I think, with Wilkins and Max on one side, we need one of those guys on the other side to let loose a little bit, whether that's him or it's Charles Snowden. Once again, Adam Butler had a big game for us. Do you think we see a lot of John Jenkins at nose? Because they're going to have to try to get that ground game going out in Baltimore.
Of course, you have to have some resistance. The way you beat Lamar Jackson is rushing 4 and dropping 7, right? You have to make Lamar Jackson beat you from the pocket. And you got to keep a spy on Lamar Jackson, and you have to make sure that you keep him in the pocket. And once he runs out of that pocket, first contact, you hit him. You'll be missing tackles and stuff like that. So as a whole, you got to tackle very well. But John Jenkins essentially is the guy that can nullify that running game.
Yeah.
When Lamar, steps up in that pocket, or if Derrick Henry comes out there, you want to make sure that you're keeping them into 1-2 yard runs so that they stay away from Derrick Henry. You don't want Derrick Henry getting those big chunk runs. So John Jenkins is going to be essential and crucial to keeping, the Raiders in like probably ahead of the sticks in a sense, right? Because if you have the Ravens going out there and you're giving, Derrick Henry the football and he's gashing us 6, 7, 8 yards, they're going to keep feeding him. They're going to feed the hot hand. We got to make sure we pour water all over that fire, brother.
I don't think Jack Jones is going to be targeted too many times. I said this the other day on Coffee and Convo. I have a feeling that Jacorian Bennett's going to come down with a pick tomorrow. I think Lamar's going to look his way and try to pick on the second-year guy to Maryland, and I do believe that Jacorian Bennett's going to come down with a pick. I think he's have a big game tomorrow. Look, Herbert, yes, he was getting rid of the football real quick. He only looked his way twice. It didn't, not one reception on Jacorian Bennett. I have him with a big game tomorrow. We need to get some turnovers, and if any of these guys do, I believe it's going to be Jacorian Bennett. And once again, a guy that I said that needs to have a big game, I think Mary can come down with one. It would be a great sighting to see Jack Jones, one of them nice pick sixes, but I don't think that they're going to look his way too much. I really don't. I think that Lamar knows what Jack Jones is. I think that he put the league on notice last year with those brief moments that he played as a Raider. First full season, I don't think they're going to look his way too much.
I don't agree because Jack Jones hasn't showed that he's not willing to bite on the double move. I think a lot of people are going to keep testing him, bro. Until
he's aggressive. That's what happens with aggressive corners. Wasted.
Yeah, but the thing is, aggressive corners that are star corners don't get beat on those moves routinely. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody gets beat, right? But when you get guys getting beat for chunk plays and touchdowns and things like that, that doesn't happen to guys like Jalen Ramsey routinely. It doesn't happen a whole lot.
But can you say it's happened routinely, though?
The thing is, we're talking about preseason and early this season, right? Last week, he got beat like 2 times on double moving, and then preseason against Dallas, he got beat for a touchdown, right? So, and we're not talking – this is not like, he's getting beat by, freaking
no, he got beat by a rookie in preseason with Dallas.
It's not like this is Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, bro. So if he wants to be in that rarefied air, he has to kind of when you start talking about this, there's nobody in that Raven receiver room besides Zay Flowers that really scares me. This is one of those games where he shouldn't really allow anything. There's no superstars on that side of the football field. There are no guys that are freaks of nature on that side of the football field. The corner room should dominate the Raiders. Not the Raiders, but the Ravens. The corner room should dominate because you don't have that superstar on the other side of the field like when you play against, a lot of other organizations.
Hammer, give us a player on both sides of the ball that you expect to perform really well for us tomorrow. And then after that, give us 2 players, me and Wason just did, that need to have a big game to shake that stigma of looking terrible out there in week 1.
Defensive side, Wilkinson.
Okay.
We brought him here for a reason.
Christian Wilkins.
Yeah. Wilkins, I'm sorry.
We always mix because we have a Wilkinson on the practice squad as well. So
we brought him here to stop the run. So that's my guy on defense. Offensive, I would say Brock. I think what they saw, the little sample size we got out of him last, you're going to see him moved around a lot. You're going to see him involved in a lot of the offense. Players who need to step up tremendously.
They had a rough outing in week 1.
Defensively, Diablo. Offensively, Minshew, protect the fucking ball.
Ooh, okay. Simple and plain. I like that. Salute to everybody here in the building. Y'all wipe them feet, man. Break them thumbs and make sure you pay them bar tabs. Hit that subscribe button on all 3 channels. Salute to everybody here in the building. Wanted to do a stream with my brothers, man. It's been a minute since we had ShieldMore on together. Tomorrow, me and Hammer will be doing a 3-hour, 4-hour long show. Watch party for the game. Wasted will do a preview, and he will be live tomorrow after the game, which I usually try and rear my head in as well and talk my shit. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys are tuned in and subscribe to both of my brothers, man. You guys want to say anything on the way out before we get to this week 2?
Bro, I appreciate everybody who rocked in with us today, man. It's a splendiferous occasion. And I want to say that this was powered and sponsored by BetUS.
There you go. There you go. Hey, gotta pay them bills, man.
Yeah, you gotta pay the bills, man.
How are you feeling, man? You know what you got going, and let everybody know what on the way out. What you got moving and shit.
Our show tomorrow, of course. I might have to jump in. We'll waste it a little bit and take you start sit 'em questions. We gotta get the lineups right and ready.
Yeah,
we got our game, and then Monday we got our reaction. Monday the Hammer and Joe show. The Hammer and Joe show.
Yep. I love it. Salute.
No schmo.
Salute to everybody here, man, as well. Let's get this big dub tomorrow. I don't want to say this, you guys. I want AP to be successful. The thing is this. Everybody went to bat for him. 5-5 right now. This is a clean slate. It's 500 right now. You got to turn the page now. I'm telling you, you have to turn the page. If we lose tomorrow in a barn burner, I'm okay with that. If we go out there and lose a close game and we went out there and we played our hearts out and it didn't look like the Charger game, I am okay with it. But this team went to bat. Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, these guys went to bat for their head coach. We need to see results. We need to see this team go out there and just be competitive. Like I said before, I'm not expecting to go out to Baltimore and can just completely destroy these guys. I'm just stating that, Max, you said pretty much in a nutshell, I may have to think about leaving if AP is not the head coach. Okay, Max, well, go out there and play like your hair's on fire tomorrow. We need 3 or 4 sacks. Like Waston said, right? Big game for Max. The defense goes as you go. Well, guess what? We need a big game for Max Crosby tomorrow. Show why AP is the guy. Show why you went to bat for him. I love AP. I love the persona. I want to fall in love with the coach. But right now, I just love the persona. That's not enough for me. And I'm sorry, you guys. It's not me being negative. It's not me trying to shit on our head coach. He is the guy. I went on national TV, New York Post, instead said that I was happy that AP was our head coach. We just need to see results. And it kind of hurt me a little bit that we lost to our divisional rival. It also hurt that my 1A was Jim Harbaugh and we lost to him. I wanted to be proven wrong. That's it. And it didn't happen. We lost in a nasty game. We got to find a way to bounce back. And once again, you guys, I just want this team to be competitive. Not expecting to go out there, like I said, and put 100 points up on this Baltimore Ravens defense. I'm not expecting that. Let's go out there and be competitive. Let's go out there, man, and play as hard as we can. And if we leave 0-2, at least we have some excitement, some momentum going into our first home game against the Carolina Panthers, where, shameless plug, me and my brothers will be at the Jersey Shore.
Yes.
Patient, rocking, boof, 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 kicking it, and all that good stuff. So, once again, you guys, and Travis, this is not me asking a lot from our first year coach. I'm asking, I ask this from any Raiders coach. I don't give a shit if this is one of the greatest organizations of all time. I expect if you're going to be the head coach, results, period. I don't care who, AP, John Gruden, any of them. I don't give a shit. Del Rio, I don't care.
Graphk, this is the problem. You don't undo 25 years of futility in one season, bro. And also, what you don't undo is, probably a decade of bad drafting. If you look at some of the draft picks that we've taken in the last 9 years, right? Only Colton Miller is still balling and Brock Bowers right now. Even our guy from last year, Tyree Wilson, knee injury. Henry Ruggs, jail. Jonathan Abram, out the league. Cleve Farrell, I don't know where the hell he is. He's bagging groceries. Alex Leatherwood, out the league.
We can't say that. Wasted. We can't.
Why can't we say that?
Derek is a starter on this defense. He's homegrown.
Bro.
Now, starting corner on the outside. Colton Miller. All these guys.
I am talking about first-round picks. First-round picks, the reason why they ring true, yes, we've gotten it right in the middle rounds with a lot of players, right? But them big contracts, the perception of this organization, right, and the guys that we could have, right, because this is the who's who of the draft. It's your first pick. Yo, we passed on Jalen Carter. We passed on possibly moving up and getting Justin Herbert. We passed on so many guys, bro. We passed on Ed Oliver and all these guys, Christian Gonzalez. Bro, that shit is coming home to bite us in the ass. So I don't expect for Antonio Pierce to come in here and wave some magic wand, right? And or us being able to possibly get CJ Stroud.
Once again, brother, I'm not expecting this team to go set the world on fire. I'm just expecting to be competitive. You have a great a rah-rah coach in AP that these guys went to bat for. I just want to see them go.
Yeah, we can't have it be a dumpster fire, but the only thing is I can't put the follies of 15, 20 years, right, on this man.
Yeah.
When his first pick as head coach of this team is Brock Bowers, and it looks like a pretty damn good pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't,
especially with all the quarterbacks off the board.
Yeah, I can't put that on him. I can't put on him the fact that Josh McDaniels was inept and didn't take CJ Stroud when he had a clear path to taking his franchise. I can't put that on him, bro. Like, I can't. And the thing is, I have to give him a chance to see his way out. Now, if he gets a chance to draft his guy,
a clear path is kind of a stretch, though.
Yo, but what I'm saying is a clear path is yo, get through this.
All we heard was they wanted to. One wanted this one wanted that one. There was no clear path.
But the thing is, it's been widely said in the media and by David Ziegler that there was a deal in place for them to move up to take CJ.
I never heard about a deal.
Yo, it was a deal on the table. There was a deal on the table.
I heard that Ziegler wanted CJ and Josh McDaniels wanted Bryce. That's
bro. I'm gonna send you the article. I'm gonna send you with David Ziegler's own words. They had the framework to go get CJ Stroud. They did, and this is the problem, bro. Regardless of the fact whether CJ Stroud or whether it's Flotsam and Jetsam, right? The thing is with AP, I gotta give him his chance to pick his poison. Are you gonna go out there and go get a free agent, or are you gonna put all your eggs in the basket of a guy that's in the building like John Gruden did?
Yeah,
right. But the thing is, I got to give him a chance to take a swing. I can't run him out of here, and he didn't even get a chance to pick his own quarterback.
Travis, you can't look. We love Hondo. That's Unc. Hondo don't know. I'm sorry. Ziegler and Josh McDaniels kept shit. Let me say this. For months before we get out of here, who was over here at ShieldMore saying that Ziegler wanted CJ Stroud and Josh McDaniels wanted Bryce?
Yeah, we were saying it.
We were. For months. For months before any of this shit came out in that article and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. I love Uncle Hondo. Hondo ain't no. He later on down the line when he had a conversation and broke that phenomenal article, which I loved. And a lot of people questioned it. We weren't those.
That's why he came on the show to pump the article right now. I'm not going to go and say that Hondo did not know, right? I don't know. Because this is the thing, Graphk. We had that information from a backdoor channel. Oh man, pause.
Hey yo,
right? It's getting late. But you got that information, right? And you passed it to me, right? But we weren't at liberty to discuss it on the air because we solid guys. That's not what we do, right? How do we know this guy's in the building every day? How do we know he wasn't at liberty to do the same thing, bro?
But how we know? How we know?
Nah, but let's be for real here. He probably was I think that's the reason why when he was able to discuss, and he did say that, I don't know if you remember, but he heard the same thing. He was told the same thing, and he wasn't at liberty to divulge that information at the time. And that's why as soon as everything broke, he was able to go in and actually write the article and give factual dates and times and things like that. So I can't say that Hondo didn't know.
He didn't know.
Get the F out of here.
That's probably why we haven't done the coffee and Hondo yet.
Nah, it's coming back, bro. Mitchell Renz, is this a backdoor YouTube? Paul Edgerton, you're unceremoniously blocked. That out of here. Block Edgerton.
My guy Paul, man. Salute to everybody else, man, rocking with his hammer. I know you're dealing with some things, bro. You all right? Don't worry about it. You good? You good?
Yeah, it looks like you're dealing with some
things. Come together like butt cheeks.
That's right. I mean, are you having the CTE spells? This CTE ESPN right now, dog? What's going on here, bro? Are you up here talking about Gina got a big booty?
Hey, that's HB.
HB.
That's HB. It ain't AB. That's HB.
That's HB. He's stupid as hell.
Yo, salute to everybody here in the building. As always, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Do me a favor on the way out, if you guys can. Go to Hammers. Hit that subscribe button. If you're not over there, subscribe to Wasted. Jump over there, hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, man, jump over here as well, man. Hit that subscribe button. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We out.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I know Jerome is coming up and he's going to blow the house out, but I had